Afifah,
But
I already allow you to record. Can you record now?
okay, I can allow. All right. Okay, so thank you very much. Sorry for this problem. Let
It's okay,
me
doctor.
start again. Share. So can you see my slide now?
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor.
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor.
Is it big enough? Or
Yes.
I use the presentation mode?
I think it's better to present it, yeah.
Presentation mode. Okay. So I'm the coordinator for this semester. Okay. So this is my contact number and email, and then this Dr. Nora's contact number and email. Okay. If you are in UPM, you can see us in Food 1. Food 1. Dr. Nora on the second floor, myself on the ground floor. Right. About the course, yeah. This course introduces the concept of halal and haram food in Islam, halal food chain involving halal food processing and preparation concept from farm to plate. The course also covers regulations and legislation related to halal food, analysis of halal food, halal standards, for example, like MS 1500, halal certification and logo, relationship between halal and quality system for halal product, and it also discusses on current issues in global halal food and food service industries and market. The learning outcome, the course learning outcome for this course is, number one, at the end of the course, students should be able to evaluate halal and haram principles in halal food production and also certification processes, to apply processing and preparation practices in production of halal food, and number three, to incorporate values and concept of halal and haram food in daily practice and teamwork. Okay, so you see at the end of this learning outcome, this is the teaching and learning domain. Okay, for this course, the cognitive level is up to level 5, and we have a psychomotor P3 here. The psychomotor is symptom psychomotor. You don't have to do lab. Yeah, we just apply the halal concept in production of halal food. And then we have affective domain A4, and the soft skill, ethic and moral, and team spirit. Yeah, working in group. Okay, so I have in this slide about this domain. Yeah, if you want to know. So in all the courses, we have set the teaching domains. Yeah, from three domains. One is cognitive, another one is psychomotor, and then cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So in this course, we are expected to reach the C5 level of thinking process. Cognitive domain means thinking process based on Bloom's taxonomy. And then for affective domain, which addresses the interest, which is related to attitude, opinion, appreciation, value, and so on. So for that is A4, organizing value. And then we have psychomotor P3, guided response. Psychomotor include physical movement, coordination. However, for this course, we don't have lab, so we usually call it as symptom psychomotor. We can still apply, but not in lab, maybe through assignment and so on. Okay. So this you can find that for all the courses will have this course outcome. Okay, and from the course outcome we get the program outcome. Okay, so this is how it looks like, the Bloom's taxonomy. So for this course we expect the student to reach the evaluation level, the cognitive level up to C5. Yeah, when we say C5, it doesn't mean that we can't ask you question on C3, C4, and so on. Okay, we can ask you a question on how to apply the concept in halal practices. We can also ask question on analysis level, or this is evaluation level. Yeah, so we can ask question on all these level of cognitive. Yeah, um, and then this is the effective level. Yeah, you don't have to remember this. This is psychomotor levels. I just want to show you. If you see in all the courses that you take, you will see this course outcome. And this outcome will be mapped to program outcome. And for the whole course, they will total all the number of outcomes we expect the student should get from the program at the end of the uh, when you at the end of your program. Okay, so for this subject, uh, this is the mapping. So just now you see the course outcome, right? 3 course outcome, and then we have program outcome. This is COPO mapping. So we have when we if you see this domain in all the courses, yeah, it means that the lecturer have to teach the student to reach this level of domain, yeah, or cognitive level. Uh, this is C for cognitive, P for psychomotor, A is for affective, and EM ethic and moral, TS team spirit. So we have to teach the student to achieve this teaching outcome. So for this course, uh, for the program outcome, PO1 usually refers to knowledge. 70% of the course is about knowledge, yeah, which we will assess you. And then this is assessment actually. How do we assess the student? Then for PO5, which is responsibility and social skill, 15%, and PO6 on the professionalism, value, behavior, and ethic, or you call it ethic and moral, another 15%. Okay, so I hope you are aware that we will evaluate you based on this plan. Yeah. Okay. All right. You don't have to memorize this. Let the lecturer handle that. Yeah. You just come to class and study accordingly. Yeah. Right. And then the content of the course. This is the lesson plan for this course for the first week until week 7. Yeah. I will take the class here uh, on this topic. Yeah. Introduction, and then on the halal concept, and then I will also go to the principle of halal and haram in Islam, and then we will uh, study about the sources of halal food and drink. Then we will, after that, slaughtering of halal animal, and on week 4 or 5 we can have test 1. Yeah. And then I will continue on halal food processing or halal food chain for 2 weeks, and followed by halal food ingredient and additive. Yeah. And after the semester break, Dr. Nora will take over for uh, halal rules and regulation, enforcement of halal food analysis and authentication. Then you will have a quiz, and then uh, the course continue with halal certification and logo, halal incentive or halal government policy. And then on the week 13 and 14, we will have SEL presentation on halal issues in the food industry. Okay, and you will have your exam, yeah, on week 16. Uh, for the our uh, be Dr. Nora and myself will be in charge of the SEL on week 13 and 14. Okay, that is about the course and the assessment for the course. This is what we have planned. First, we have test one, 10%, quiz 10%, and then assignment LCL. There are two assignments here. One, video presentation. Before you present the video, prepare the video, you have to find three clips on halal issues, international issues. Uh, then you prepare the video from one of the chosen clips, and then that will give you 20% of the total marks. And then another SEL is on problem-based learning. We will give you a teaser, and you will present on week 13 or 14. That contributes to 20% of the marks. And finally, final exam is 40%. So you see from here, we give you a lot of marks for your assignment. So if you want to score, you have to be serious about this. We can give you more marks on test and quiz if you want, but I think from our previous experience, students usually scores better if you give them assignment. Yeah. So um, so this we have set this course assessment, yeah, for this semester, yeah. And then these are the references that you can use, or that you can also use other references if you can find. It's not the latest one, yeah, because these um, uh, synopsis have not been revised yet, but this is the reference you can find, the latest one to use. Okay, and for SEL, the two assignments, yeah, maybe Dr. Nora can give some brief on this.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Okay, you have several things that you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is to get into your groups and find 3 news clips, which is supposed to be submitted on week 4, as early as week 4. So this is the guideline. So report 3 news based on the news clips that you take, say, but these are news clips outside the country, not in Malaysia, maybe in Indonesia or Singapore or UK or the US. So get from legit newspapers outside the country 3 clips or 3 news related to halal. And then if you look at the table at the bottom of the slide, so you put all the information in the title, the date of the news publication, the source where you get the news from, and the gist of the news. What is the main issue? The halal related main issue there. So so you have 3 clips. So you have three different news to provide feedback in this table, and you submit this through Putra Blast on week 4. Yeah, through Putra Blast on week 4. And this will carry, if I'm not mistaken, 5%, yeah, Dr. Rose?
Yep.
Is it 5% of the total evaluation? Okay.
Total evaluation is 20%.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And after you have this news clip, you have to select one of the 3 and then create a video based on the gist of that selected clip. What is the issue, halal related issue there? Create a 3-minute documentary. So this is not a simple video, it's a documentary type video to educate others on whatever the gist of the news is and relate that to halal principles. Okay. And use facts that you get from other sources to support your argument in the video. So the video should be like a formal educational video Please refrain yourself from acting in the video. We want to see facts rather than see your acting skills. You can interview experts from authority and certain organizations, and also maybe for those from Indonesia, you can interview experts from apa tu, Majlis Ulama Indonesia, or you can have narration, but this is just voice narration. The thing about the video, it must be impactful, and this is lifelong impact with certain values on moral and ethics being incorporated into the video. And please do not interview FSTM lecturers. This has happened before when students do things last minute. They don't know where to get an expert from, and finally they take FSTM lectures. And
they even ask the coordinator or the lecturer who teach this course halal to be interviewed. Like I said, why you want to interview me? I give you this assignment. You should not interview the lecturers from this course, you know. Also from our faculty, if you want, you can find other lecturers in UPM. They are also expert in halal. This is just an example, yeah, that you can do your own style based on your creativity. Not necessarily you all have to interview lecturers or interview the expert. Not necessary. It depends on your creativity. Okay.
yes, and this video is to be submitted on week 14. So we're going to view your video on week 14. But
14.
because you already have the news clip by week 4, it's good to start preparing for the video right after week 4. Don't wait
Do
till
not
the end.
prepare last minute. Don't do it last minute.
Okay, because you already have the substance to work on. Okay.
All right.
And case
Next,
study.
another assignment is case study. Okay, so we have two assignment, basically video plus clips, and then case study. Okay, so 20%.
So for the case study, you're going to start working on it on week 8 because a briefing will be given on week 8. And we will also give you a teaser to start the ball rolling. So on week 9, you are expected to submit through Putra Blast the FILA table. The table at the bottom is called the FILA table. And this is going to be filled out by you based on the teaser given. Okay, so submit this on week 9 and use the right column, the action plan column, for your presentation on week 14 or 13 at the end of the semester. Only the right side of the table, we want to see that in your presentation. So masa present, we do not want to see your FILA table. It's just a backbone structure to get you working on your case study.
Yeah,
Okay.
but remember to show or the topic. When you present anything, make sure you give a topic to your presentation.
Yes.
A title.
What happened in the past, students normally forget to have a cover page, your group number, the topic that was selected, because for the case study, there will be several topics. So different group will be getting different topics. So make sure you write which topic you received at the front page. Yeah.
Okay. Example lah, this one previous one, yeah. So you will have a new teaser. We'll not be using this, yeah. We'll give you the teaser later on. Okay.
Okay.
This one? No.
So no, this is just an example.
Explanation, yeah. Dr. Nora said already, do not present the FILA table. Just present the action that you take, action plan.
The solution to the problem.
Solution to the problem. Case study mean there is a problem or problem-based learning. You call it PBL. So you solve the problem. You present your action plan. Okay, I'll share this slide with you.
You can read on your own, and during briefing, I will go over this as well.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
And how about grouping? We will group for you, or Dr. Nora want them to group themselves, or we will randomly pick.
Terpulang. I think
Okay.
up to
How do you like it to be? You want to find your own member, or we randomly pick for you?
We haven't selected the class rep yet.
Yes. Anybody you want to volunteer? Arkan is very far, you know. If you are here, you can be the class rep.
Tak apa, belajar online.
Okay, doctor.
You want to be the class rep, Arkan?
I think it's fine, doctor. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Then you will form a WhatsApp group, okay, for this class, and you can invite Dr. Nora and myself, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I think for the lesson plan.
We have 31 students altogether, is it?
-2, Dr. Nora. I have to -2.
-2. Oh, okay. So how many
31,
groups
yelah,
do
31.
you want to break into?
I
5
think more than
groups?
31, I think, Dr. Nora. But
Okay, so 5 groups altogether, or 8
6
groups?
6 members.
6.
It's too big, is it? 6 group, 6 in the group, or is 6 mean if you have 6 group mean 5 per group, right? About that. So Arkan, how do you want us to group you? You want to choose your own members, or we can randomly pick? Using Putra Plus, there is a system where a platform where we can randomly pick the group members. That one, we will do it for you. Or you want to choose your members?
I think most of the time we prefer to choose our own, but we are okay if you prefer to use the Putra Blast, doctor.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is that all right, Dr. Nora?
I have no problem.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Nora.
Okay, so I will leave now. Dr. Rose will begin today's lecture. So I will see you on week 8, whenever that is. Okay, enjoy the semester. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Nora.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Doctor.
doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
You, doctor.
Okay, let me get the lecture note. All right. Can you see my lecture?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Can you see the slide? All right. Thank you. Let me check this camera. Okay. So before we learn more about halal food, it is very important for us to understand the basic concept, yeah, Islam. Just for a few minutes, yeah, before I continue, I want to actually I have the list, yeah. I want just to check how many are not Muslim in the group. Maniam, Ramya, Maniam, Jahnavi Ganesh. Any more? Only 2?
Me, doctor. I'm
Okay. I'm Risahib. All right, 3, yeah. this is not for just for anything. It's just like doesn't mean that you cannot understand us. But if you have like problem, you can always ask. You can always stop the lecture and then ask a question in between. Not only all of you can do that, yeah, especially for Ramya, um, uh, Jahnavi, and one more. I lost your name already.
Amrit Saib, Doctor.
What? How do we call you?
Doctor, you can actually call me Saiba.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Sahib, is it? Sahiba. All right.
SAHIBA, yeah.
Okay, Sahiba. So usually in my class, the non-Muslim score, they got A, but not necessarily as a Muslim you get A for this course. Yeah. So you have to read there are a lot of new things that we have to learn, yeah, and know about this before we can apply it. Because the difference between uh, other laymen who don't study halal food and ourselves is that we are food scientists or food technologists. We are going to apply the halal concept into our expertise, expert areas. Yeah. So those who don't study food science and technology will not be able to see what we can see. Okay. So that is the difference between food scientists studying halal with other non-scientist people studying halal. You can see the picture more in that because we are going to apply the halal concept into the system, the food system, or the food processing aspect. Uh, so it means that you will be more knowledgeable, yeah, in this matter than layman people. They can also understand, but it's not easy for them to understand certain terminology or scientific term, but for you I expect you be much better than them. Okay, before we start, let me ask you a question. um what is halal food? What is halal food from your understanding? Any of you can answer. Yeah, just answer. Tell me what is halal food from your understanding without looking at looking at any notes or Google. If I ask you now, maybe ask Arkan. Arkan, what is halal food?
Maybe it is a food that is in according to the Sharia law of Islam.
Okay, don't put the word maybe. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it is.
okay, food according to Sharia law. Okay, how about others? Nur Iman, I just speak. Yeah, so maybe I don't call your name. Yeah, it's okay, but I just see the name and I just call you. No Iman, or you can just say out if you want. What is halal food? No Iman.
Food that follow Islam rule.
Food that follow Islam rules. Halal food is
Uh,
food that follow
that
Islam rules.
no yeah, something like that. That uh uh that
Okay, let's. Do you have a pencil or paper in front of you?
yeah.
Can you scribble what is halal food? Just write something. What is halal food? Just from your point of view. You don't have to refer to anything. I want to know now, what do you know about halal food? Because I want you to compare your knowledge about halal food now and after 14 weeks of studying halal food. We can ask you again the question. Of course, I will not ask you in the exam what is halal food. That's too easy, right? Okay, because your level, we have to reach C5 level, cognitive level 5, evaluation level, which means that you will be able to evaluate or to solve problems, something like that. Yeah. So now, what is halal food to you? Then keep that paper near you or pin it on your board, whatsoever. And in 14 weeks' time, answer that question again. What is halal food? Okay. maybe today you can write about 2 sentences or 4 sentences or half A4 paper about halal food. But after 14 weeks of studying halal food, I think you can write maybe a book about halal food. Okay, a lot about halal food. All right. So you can see uh, the knowledge that you gain, not just for this halal course, maybe for other courses is also the same. You start with very little knowledge about that thing, and by the end of the course, you have uh, get so much about it. Okay, especially about halal food. All right. So now we can start again, continue our lecture. I just want you to think, since our lecture is early in the morning. Actually, I like lecture to be early in the morning, 8 to 10. Usually, very nice to have class, face-to-face class in the morning, because we are quite fresh, and we all are awake. But if my class is at 2 o'clock or 2 or 3 o'clock, I will be very like worried, because the student will be sleeping. Okay, so I hope you will be awake, for this halal lecture, 8 to 10 o'clock. You have lecture after this at 10? Do you have?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Doctor.
we will finish before that, at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes before that. If we cannot finish everything by today, we can still continue next week. Okay. Right. Let's continue again on halal concept. I will go slowly with you so that you get a good grasp of the halal concept. I'm sharing the whole slide. Okay. So in this um, lecture, okay, you see here in UPM, we our teaching is based on outcome. Yeah. So we have course outcome, we have learning outcome for each lecture, and then we have program outcome. It's outcome based uh, teaching, practiced by UPM. Okay, so you know that from each of the lecture what we expect from you. Yeah, so at the end of this lecture, we expect that students should be able to first define terminologies related to halal food. Students should be able to differentiate or identify the different type of nudge according to groups and their cleansing method. And number three, to discuss regarding maqasid al-Sharia. Okay, this is a term that is normally used. You hear about this term quite often. Maqasid al-Sharia. What does it mean? And how do we relate this to our course? And number four, students should be able to explain the importance of understanding the halal concept in Islam and identify the sources of halal and haram food or drinks. Yeah, actually there are more outcomes. Yeah, but this is some of it. As we go through, you know what you have. We want you to know as well. Okay, all are important. Yeah, all are relevant. Okay, we know that people all over the world are conscious about food, about health, about their nutrition. Why? Because food is the basic needs. Beside water and air, food is very important for us because it is important to nourish ourselves. According to dictionary, Webster's Encyclopedia Dictionary, food is defined as a nourishing substance taken into and absorbed by an organism to sustain life, to enable growth, and to repair the tissues. So we eat food to nourish ourselves, to give us energy to grow, to repair tissue, to sustain life. So that is okay um, uh, a saying, a phrase, a famous phrase said, "Do you live to eat, or you um, eat to live?" Okay. So which one you are now? Do you eat to live or live to eat?
Live to eat.
And
Eat to
Live to
live.
eat.
Live to eat. Are you sure?
yeah.
Live to eat or eat to live?
Eat to live.
Eat to live.
Okay, so many students answer live to eat. Yeah, so we don't live to eat, we eat to live. Okay, this means different. Yeah, so think about it. Yeah. All right. So for Muslim, it is a command from Allah for us to consume halal and tayyib food. So this term is used together uh, in the Quran. You can find 4 places that mention about halalan tayyiban in Arabic, or in Malay you say halal dan tayyib, or in English you say halal and tayyib. Okay, so halal means here lawful and permitted. Tayyib here the definition is toyib means good. Yeah, some says it's wholesome. Wholesome means good. Okay, so good mean it can be translated as healthy, clean, nutritious. Yeah, anything about good. What is good? So that is the type of food the Muslim must eat, or is commanded by Islam, by Allah, for Muslim to eat halalan and tayyiban. Halal and tayyib food. Not just halal, full stop, no, but halal and tayyib. So it comes together. Okay. And where do the guidance on Islamic dietary law obtain? Where does it come from? So, yeah, for the Muslim, it is being guided. We are being guided by Quran, the divine book for the for Muslim, from Allah. The Quran is actually, the words in the Quran is from Allah. Okay, here I said God, but I'm in my lecture, I will use the word Allah. Okay, because God is not equal to Allah. It's not the same. Allah, that for Muslim there is only one God, only Allah. Maybe for other religion there are many gods. Yeah, so uh, the 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 most suitable term for us here is Allah. So I will mention Allah because only refers to Allah uh, in this aspect. Okay, so we base our rules and regulation based from Quran and also from Hadith. Hadith, okay, uh, Hadith is based on the Sunnah of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the last prophet. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, uh, the Quran is delivered through Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, through Jibril to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, uh, to pass it to all humankind, all mankind. Okay, so these are the two main sources. There are also other sources that can be used, but the main sources is from Quran and Hadith. Uh, what is Hadith? Hadith is the compilation of the tradition of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So when I say Muhammad, I would like to say peace be upon him. Yeah. So in Arabic is Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, SAW, short form for that. So in English you say PBUH. Yeah. All right. And then the Hadith just now, as I said, is from is a compilation of the Sunnah. What is Sunnah? Sunnah is the life, the action, and the teaching of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. During his lifetime, whatever he do becomes a guidance to mankind. We follow his action, whatever his life is example for Muslim to follow, and this is called Sunnah. Yeah. So the food laws are explained and put into practice through the Sunnah. The Sunnah means the life, action, and teaching of Muhammad SAW as recorded in the Hadith, the compilation of the tradition of Muhammad. Okay, so in general, everything is permitted for us to use. Everything that has benefit is permitted for us to use. Nothing is forbidden except if it is prohibited either by a verse of the Quran or by an authentic and explicit sunnah of Muhammad. So this sunnah is in the form of hadith. Okay, so everything, you can do anything that you want, that you like, but don't do things that are prohibited by when say in Islam, uh, certain things are prohibited because it is harmful to the mankind. So it's not is halal, yeah. So prohibited is it means that it's haram. Okay. So anything is halal except that is prohibited in the Quran, mentioned in the Quran or in Hadith. Okay. Right. Then these rules of Sharia, or you call it Islamic law, brings freedom for people to eat, to drink, or to do anything they like as long as it is not haram. So haram means prohibited. But the most suitable word here I will use is halal, lawful, but haram, prohibited. Okay. Uh, so if I use the word halal and haram, you know what it means. Yeah, haram is the opposite of halal. So now I want to define the terminologies related to halal food and halal method. Before that, I would like to tell you that um, halal matters or halal food is a way of life for the Muslim. Okay, for the Muslim, we have to do lawful thing. You cannot do things that are haram. Yeah? We cannot eat things that are haram. Okay, we have to eat halal food. See, it's like a way of life. Halal means um, a way of life. It's not just about food that we eat, but it also applies to other activities. For example, you know about Islamic finance. Yeah, so Islamic finance or other product, for example, cosmetic product or medicine, pharmaceutical, or uh, action in your life, how you behave, how you treat others, how you behave towards your parents. Yeah, so all these are outlined. Yeah, as good things to do, or command by Allah to do the halal activities or to do halal activities, uh, not to do the opposite, haram things. Yeah, so I can say that halal is a way of life. Yeah, for the Muslim, we have to live in halal way. All right. There are some other terms. These are terms that I use. Some, for example, like halal. What is the meaning of halal? Haram, shubha, Sharia law, and others. Yeah. Now we go to the terminology and concept. Uh, uh, just a few. Maybe there are more. If you care to find it, there are certain term, but I just mentioned a few that is relevant to in this lecture or in this course. Maybe there are others later on you will come across. Yeah. So it's important to understand the meaning of this term. For example, halal. What is halal? Halal is an Arabic word which means permitted or lawful. Halal refers to matters that are lawful and permitted in Islam based on the Sharia law and fatwa. Okay, what is fatwa? So I will define fatwa later after this. And for uh, the Malay, the language, many of our language, in Malay language, we use the same words. Halal have the same meaning. So some of the words come from Arabic words, from Malay language. For example, like halal, haram, shubha. So all these words we use in our daily life uh, come from Arabic words. But the English word have you can, if you are not sure about the meaning, we can refer to the English meaning. Okay, for example, now haram. What is haram? Some people, not some people, there are some concern like they don't want to use the word haram. They want to say it's non-halal. Okay, but the most accurate is to say if it's haram, say it's haram. Okay, if you say non-halal, then it can be other things, right? So uh, the correct word is to use halal for permitted or lawful, and the uh, opposite of permitted and lawful are prohibited or unlawful, or more accurately, haram, in Arabic. So haram is matters that are unlawful and prohibited in Islam based on Sharia law and fatwa. So uh, it comes from the Islamic law lah. what is haram, what is halal, yeah? Also from fatwa. Another term is shubha. It's also an Arabic word which means doubtful. Doubtful. I'm not sure in Malay, maybe they say sometimes they use the word like was, not sure, okay, unsure. So the English word is doubtful. It does when one does not know the status of a product or a particular food or drink, whether it's halal or haram. So that food or drink is called shubha or doubtful. Okay, and in Islam, uh, we are advised to avoid doubtful food or shubha food. Later, I will give you the proof from hadith saying this. For a Muslim, they should avoid shubha things or shubha action or shubha food. Okay, and there are other terms which are important because it relates to cleanliness. For example, Najj. Here, there are three types of Najj: Mughallazah Najj, Muhaffafah Najj, Mutawassitah Najj. Okay, Najj means impurity or dirt, something that is dirty. In Malay, you call it najis. In Arabic, it's Najj. Okay, and this Najj in Islam basically are divided into three groups. Severe nudge or mughallaza, and then you have light nudge, light, yeah, Light, or muhaffafah nudge, and then you have medium nudge or mutawassita. The Arabic word is more accurate lah, but sometimes the translation uh, have the meaning, but not necessarily cover all the meaning. But here, for our understanding, is enough to take this mughalaza as severe nudge, muhafafa as light nudge, mutawasita as medium nudge category. And then there is also the term tayammum. I bring this because later I will mention this word in the lecture. Yeah, tayammum is a dry ablution, yeah, for Muslim. Before we pray, we have to pray 5 times a day. So before we pray, we have to wash our hands, wash our face, wash our feet. Okay, wash our feet. Um, there, of course, certain order. Okay, before we pray. So tayammum means dry ablution. Usually we take ablution with water. Okay, but if in some circumstances, for example, like uh, if you suffering from certain diseases that don't allow you to be in touch with water, in contact with water, or maybe during drought times there's no water available, or there's no clean water available to take ablution, then you can use dry ablution, or tayammum. Right, later we discuss about tayammum. And there are certain terms regarding water. Yeah, for example, musta'mal, mushammas, mutlaq, mutanajis water. And there are also other terms like makruh and then mazhab. Okay, mazhab. Uh, uh, for this mazhab, regarding mazhab, you can refer to this YouTube for a better understanding, a simple explanation what mazhab is. Yeah, all right. Uh, Right. Now I proceed with the explanation on this some of this term. So regarding water, why water? Because we use water for cleansing. In Islam, Islam, uh, there's a saying, yeah, um, cleanliness is part of a faith. Maknanya for a Muslim, cleanliness is very important. Yeah. What is the phrase? Do you remember? Kebersihan adalah
Sebagian
sebahagian
dari iman.
daripada
Iman.
keimanan. Yes. So meaning that for a faithful Muslim, cleanliness is, let's say, half of it or part of it. It's very important to practice cleanliness. That is the teaching in Islam. Okay. So then you have water because you use water to clean the dirt or the nudge. Yeah. Then water can be divided into four. Actually, I didn't write the reference here based on my reference. So that can be divided into four. We can group the water into mutlaq water, mushammas water, musta'mal water, and mutanajis. Okay, so The water that you say pure water or clean water, the word mutlak here means pure and purifying, which means that it's not only pure and clean, but it can be used for cleansing. When you want to clean certain thing, something is dirty, you want to clean it, you use water. So the water to clean that dirty things must be a clean water, and the water can cleanse. It can clean that dirty surface. So this type of water is called mutlak water. And for Muslim, if they want to take ablution, they have to use mutlak water. Okay, we cannot use other water. Also, not only for taking ablution, if you want to take a shower or whatever, you use mutlak water, because it's pure and cleanse. It can cleanse. It helps to cleanse the dirty things. What are the example of mutlak water? There are 7 types of mutlak water. Mutlak water is water that can be used to purify or for purification. Rainwater, seawater, river, well, spring, snow, and dew. Of course, you don't have snow. We don't use snow here. But if, let's say, in some part of the world, yeah, in the Arctic, for example, or Antarctic, there are a lot of snows everywhere. So that is clean, yeah, mutlak is pure, and it can be used for cleansing. And um, for water, yeah, for river water, it depends on whether nowadays you can see some water are polluted, right? So if the water from the river is polluted, or any water that is polluted, it is grouped under mutanajis. Mutanajis, yeah, meaning polluted and cannot be used for either mundane or religious purposes. Mundane mean any normal activity, or religious purposes, like for example, to take ablution, yeah. So you cannot use dirty water or polluted water. So if the river water is polluted, you can see the color. You actually even some give smell, um, and it's quite rampant nowadays. Yeah, people throw rubbish in the river, they throw chemicals, byproduct into the river and polluted all the river. So this river, the water is grouped under mutanajis. You cannot use it unless it is clean, yeah, from clean river, yeah. The water is regarded as pure or clean for as long as it is not affected or contaminated by anything that changes any one of its parameters or feature. For example, like if the color changes, the taste changes, the odor change, yeah, change. So it is regarded as contaminated. So it's not any pure. It cannot be used for cleansing. The second type of water maybe is not used, but I just say it here is mushammas water. This mushammas water is like mutlak water, is pure and can be used for cleansing. However, it is not recommended. I don't know the reason behind it, but we say here is makruh. Makruh mean you can use the water. It's not a sin, but it is not recommended. That's all. You can use, no problem. Um, it's just that it's not recommended. Mushamas water is water that has been exposed to hot, maybe hot sun or hot water. You can check what is mushamas. Usually, water that is exposed to hot condition. Okay, this is not boiling water. This is different. Yeah. And then do you have the term mustaqma water? Mustaqma water is pure, but it cannot be used for purifying. So, but you can use the water for mundane or but not religious purposes. You cannot use mustaqma water for taking ablution, for example. Okay, water is pure, but it cannot cleanse. It cannot use for cleansing. Example of mustaqma water, for example, like you have pure water, you add in coffee, you add in tea inside it, or add in sugar. So that water you can drink, but you cannot use that water for cleansing. Yeah, you cannot use the coffee to cleanse your hand, for example, to take ablution. You cannot use that, okay, because it is not purifying. Okay, so these are example of how Islam classified water for the use of mankind. Okay, right. And why I talk about water later on, because we want to relate this to cleansing, as I told you regarding Nash. Nash is impurity which you have to cleanse. Okay, before that, let's go to the meaning of Sharia law. In this course, Sharia law is the commands of Allah concerning the conduct of mukallaf, which consists of demands or commandment and prohibition. So what is mukallaf? Mukallaf. Conduct of mukallaf means the behavior of that person. Or mukallaf is a person who have reached adulthood or have reached puberty and have akal, who have a reasonable mind, not what I mean here, they are not insane. Okay, they have mind. They call it akal. Akal, uh, uh, and they can differentiate between good and bad things. So these people, these mukallaf, they have to follow the command of Allah. Okay, so Sharia law is the command of Allah concerning the conduct of a mukallaf, uh, meaning what we do, what we practice, our action based on Sharia law. Okay, which consists of demand. There are commandment that lawful commandment. There are prohibition. So this is Sharia law. Okay, uh, when I say mukallaf, it does not apply to children, which means that children, there is nothing wrong, or there is it's not a sin for them to do things that are prohibited, because it is not a command for them yet. They haven't reached the puberty. Once they reach puberty, they become mukallaf, then they have to obey the command. They have to obey the Sharia law. In Malaysia, Sharia law is the laws of Islam in the mazhab of Shafi'i, or the laws of Islam in any of the other mazhab of Hanafi, Maliki, and Hambali, which are approved by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, that is our king, to be enforced in the federal territory, or the ruler of any state to be enforced in that state in Malaysia. Okay, what is mazhab? In English, we can say that mazhab means school of thought. School of thought. So there are 4 school of thought. Shafi'i school of thought, Hanafi school of thought, Maliki school of thought, and Hanbali school of thought. Okay, and in Malaysia, majority of our law, Islamic law, is based on mazhab of Shafi'i. But doesn't mean we don't follow Hanafi, Maliki, or Hanbali. In some activities, we adopt the teaching of mazhab Hanafi, from or Maliki or Hanbali. We do. For example, most of our practices regarding praying, or other activities in our life, we follow mazhab Syafi'i. But some activities, for example, like paying zakat. You know what is zakat? Zakat is, you call it alms, ALMS, alms giving. So for Muslim, it is um, compulsory to give zakat. Usually we give zakat from our wealth, but 2.5% to the poor people, to the needy. Is kewajipan. Is you can, it's not a choice. If you want to donate, it's different. You can donate, or you, if you don't want to donate, it's okay. But zakat, you have to give. The Muslim have to give zakat if they are rich. They are wealthy, they are rich, they have to give zakat. They earn money, for example, certain amount of money, they have certain amount, they will give 2.5% of the money that they earn to the poor or the needy, to help the poor and the needy. If they have a lot of goals, for example, gold, then there are certain limitation. How much gold you have, then you must give zakat. If you have not much, the gold, you don't need to give zakat for the gold, from the gold. So it depends. If some people, they are rich, they have a lot of golds, maybe gold bars, so they have to give 2.5% of uh, uh, the wealth to the poor. So that's like others, like you have animals, for example, they rear cows, a herd of cows, so they have to give zakat from the wealth that they have. Okay, so that one we based on different mazhab, school of thought, Hanafi school of thought, where we give zakat in the form of money. If we follow mazhab Shafi'i, we have to give zakat. For zakat, we have to give zakat in the form of rice. Rice. Then we give rice to the poor. But in Malaysia, we follow Hanafi school of thought. We convert like the rice into the amount of rice that we have to give into value, money. So then we give zakat like how many ringgits to the poor and the needy. Okay. Uh, you want to know about this, you can you can watch the video that I share with you. I will share. Maybe the link is in the lecture note. But if you cannot link it, you just copy and paste and go to Google and you can watch the video. And then we have this definition, fatwa. What is fatwa? Fatwa is a legal opinion concerning Islamic law issued by competent Muslim scholar. Uh, uh, religious people. For example, here in Malaysia we have Mufti. So this is example, Muslim scholar. Okay, in Malaysia context, the fatwa means any religious decree. Decree means command or rules or um, regulation. Any commands or rules, any religious decree which is verified by an authority related to the religion of Islam and approved by Yang di-Pertuan Agong to be enforced in the federal territory or by the ruler of any state to be enforced in the state within Malaysia. Okay, so fatwa in Malaysia is handled by a National Fatwa Committee. There is a committee, fatwa committee that handle any matters regarding certain activities with the status, the halal or haram status is like not known. For example, it's not directly or it's not mentioned in the Quran, maybe not mentioned in the Hadith regarding certain thing. So this activity or this uh, problem will be brought to this fatwa committee to get the ruling. Is it halal or not halal for Muslim to do or to eat, to use, for example? So there are many fatwa. If you like, you can just Google fatwa in Malaysia, and you can see a lot of example of fatwa. Okay, the legal opinion concerning Islamic law issued by Majlis or the National Fatwa Committee, or in general Muslim scholar. Not only Malaysia have fatwa, in other countries also they have fatwa. I think Indonesia have fatwa by the scholar in Indonesia. Usually they depends on the situation or the country. The fatwa is related to the country itself. Okay, all right. The objective, okay, just now I said what is maqasid syariah. You will see this word often, quite often, maqasid al-syariah, an Arabic word. In English, we can say the meaning is objective of Sharia. Okay, why we have to know maqasid al-Sharia? Because we want to know why do we have to follow Sharia law? Why? Why we have to eat halal food, not haram food? Why we have to do halal things, not doing prohibited things? You can see this overall. Why Sharia law comes to place is for human mankind, for the wellness of human mankind, for to protect the mankind. As I'm telling you, it's not just the Islam is for Muslim people. Actually, Islam is for the whole mankind. Okay. So there are five objective of Sharia, or there are five maqasid al-Sharia. Number one, to protect faith, our faith. Number two, to protect our life. Number three, to protect our mind, to protect our property, to protect our progeny. Okay, so as I said earlier, halal does not only applies to food. but it applies to other than food. Yeah, food, action, our economy, our daily activities. So in general, the Sharia law um, is for the benefit of mankind for these 5 aspects. So, for example, just example, to protect your faith or our faith. So, if you drink alcohol, we will not be able to recognize Allah, okay, or we will not remember Allah if we are in the state of drunken state. Yeah. So, in Islam, alcohol is prohibited because it can affect the mind. Yeah. Uh, uh, Therefore, uh, uh, it is prohibited to protect the faith, yeah, our faith. Number two, to protect our life. As mentioned, yeah, earlier, that halal food are tayyib, are good food. Halal, if the food is poisonous or contain toxin and can damage our body and soul, hazard, can cause hazard to our life, so that type of food are grouped under haram. Okay, so then we say here why we are prohibited from eating haram food or poisonous food, to protect our life, yeah, to prevent our life from damage and so on. Okay, so number three, to protect our mind. For example, if you drink alcohol or liquor, or if you misuse taking drug, methamphetamine, ice, so on, yeah, it cause hallucination, it cause you to lose your mind, yeah. So Islam prohibited us from eating or taking drugs and so on, to protect our mind, yeah. And then you have number four, to protect our property. Taking people's property are illegal. Stealing is haram. You cannot steal other people's property. You cannot take other people's property without their consent. Yeah, illegally take their property or steal. Huh? So by this way, Sharia law prevent this because to protect our property. People cannot steal other people's property. Yeah, it's haram. Okay, to protect our property. Number five, to protect our progeny or our inheritance or keturunan, you call it. Yeah. So we are commanded to eat halal and tayyib food for healthy nutrition, to produce healthy family, healthy generation. Yeah. So that is the fifth objective, yeah, for Sharia, to protect progeny. Okay. So basically, al-maqasid al-Sharia is for the benefit of mankind. Yeah. In this aspect, 5 aspect: faith, life, mind, property, and progeny. Okay. What time is it now? Are you okay? If you have anything, we can have a few minutes break and you can ask some question. We have about 20 minutes more, or 25 minutes more.
Doctor,
Yep.
uh, I have discussed with most of our group mates, most of our friends in this group. They thought that it is better to assign the group on our own, doctor.
No problem. No
Okay,
problem. I give that responsibility to Arkan. You form how many groups just now? 5 or 6? Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah, better 6 lah. You
six
can
group,
form. There are about 30 of you or 32.
32 if I'm not mistaken.
Um, no problem. We can check again the name later on. How many have registered, and I can share with you. Okay. All right. All right. So you will divide the group. Maybe in next week you can give the group name to me.
Okay, doctor.
All right. Any other question? Is it clear? Maybe certain thing you have to look. For example, like mazhab, I have a video for you. Not for myself. Of course, I take the video, Google, and I get one video that is good for to explain uh, some basic about mazhab or school of thought. Okay, and the different region in the world, they practice different school of thought, because the school of thought, like for example Shafi'i, is teaching from Imam Shafi'i, okay, religious scholar known as Imam Shafi'i. Okay, actually all these leader, they have uh, they are religious people during their time, okay, and from the different part of the world. That's why you see, like in India they practice different mazhab, uh, in Malaysia different mazhab, in Indonesia I think same like Shafi'i, okay, but a majority lah, but we also apply other school of thought. Yeah? For example, if you go to Hajj, for example, the way okay, before we apply or use any school of thought, we have to be educated about that mazhab first, which means that we have to study, we have to seek knowledge regarding the mazhab in depth, then only you can apply that mazhab. For the Malaysian people, like for us, we follow what is taught to us during when we were small at school. So the teaching of Islam is based on a school of Shafi'i. That's why our practice, daily practice, based on school of Shafi'i, school of thought, you know, because we only learn about that. But in people from Pakistan or from India, they might be practicing Hanbali school of thought or Hanafi school of thought, because they learn from their parents or before, how uh, I mean how to live, yeah, as a Muslim, the practices as a Muslim. So you can listen to the video. There is nothing wrong between the different school of thought. It's just different idea, but it does not go against Islam. Okay. So that one I leave it to you. Now let's continue regarding halal food. Okay, by definition, like just now I asked you, what is halal food? So some of you says halal food, food based on Sharia law. Okay, but then we ask more. What is example, or what is Sharia law relates to food? Example. So what are the condition when you say based on Sharia law or fatwa? Some says halal food are foods that are free from any components that Muslims are prohibited from consuming, meaning that free from haram components. If that food contain haram things, we can't eat it. It's not halal. It's haram. But if it does not have the haram components, then it is halal. So you can eat it. Yeah, that's the simple definition. But we want to follow this definition, another definition. Okay, halal food. What is halal food? Halal food covers food and beverages and or their ingredients permitted under the Sharia law and fatwa and fulfill the following conditions. See this condition, eh? That's what I said just now. Now you can write only one or two sentences about halal food. Later, if I ask you what halal food, you can write um, seven sentences, yeah? Seven sentences or six sentences. Number one, halal food does not contain or any parts of matter of an animal that is prohibited by Sharia law and fatwa. Okay, not just prohibited, but by whom? By Sharia law. What are the animals that are prohibited? For example, okay, like dogs, like pigs, yeah, for example. Okay. And then another condition, halal food, if it is animal, it must be slaughtered according to Sharia law. But is it all animals? So not all type of animals. Okay, there are certain animals that are grouped under halal animal that you can slaughter according to Sharia. If you slaughter but not according to Sharia, that put the meat from that animal also is not halal. Okay, so it's very important, this word prohibited animal does not contain animal that is prohibited by Sharia law and fatwa. Okay, uh, and also it has been slaughtered if it's not being slaughtered according to Sharia law and fatwa. Okay, so here we said that halal food does not consist. Halal food has not been slaughtered. Sorry, sorry. Um, it must fulfill the following. Halal food. I think there are some missing. Hold on. Must fulfill the following condition. Must fulfill the following condition. Food that does not contain any animal that is prohibited. okay, by Sharia law for a Muslim to consume, or that has not been slaughtered in accordance with Sharia law and fatwa. Number two, halal food does not contain najs. Anything which is grouped under najs or impure. Okay, not only urine or feces, including blood, also pus, and also other najs, which we will discuss after this. Nash according to Sharia. What are Nash according to Sharia law and fatwa? We will discuss after this. So the halal food does not contain anything which is Nash. Halal food does not intoxicate according to Sharia law and fatwa. Intoxicate here means drunk. It cannot. It does not make you drunk. If you drink anything, it make you drunk. That is haram. That drink is haram. Okay, and prohibited for Muslim to consume. Halal food does not contain any parts of human being. Okay, so Islam does not allow cannibalism, which means that you cannot eat another human parts, or human cannot eat human's part, okay, or its yield, which are not allowed by Sharia law and fatwa. Halal food is not poisonous or hazardous to health. Okay, halal food has not is not been prepared or processed or manufactured using any equipment that is contaminated with naj according to Sharia law. Meaning that what are definition of naj according to Sharia law and fatwa? Okay, after this, you know. So halal food are food that has not been prepared, processed, or manufactured. Okay, when you process food, you have to prepare the food, uh, or during manufacturing, the equipment that you use must not be dirty equipment or contaminated with naj. If it is contaminated with naj, then that food is not halal. Okay? Halal food has not, in the course of preparation, processing, or storing, been in contact or with in contact, mix, or in close proximity to any food that fails to satisfy A and B. To satisfy A and B, this one, these two things. So the food cannot be in contact with a non-halal animal. It cannot be in contact with, what is B? Nudge, for example. Okay, nudge cannot be mixed with uh, prohibited animal, cannot be mixed with nudge during preparation, during processing, during storage. Okay, so you can see this D and E with regard to processing, preparation of food, manufacturing of the product. Okay, that's to come out with halal food products. So basically, halal food does not contain any human part or derivative. Halal food must animal must be slaughtered according to Sharia, must be physically separated from anything that is, for example, from nash, must be separated from nash, must be separated from prohibited food, okay, or haram food. Uh, Halal food does not contain nash. Halal food is safe for consumption, not intoxicating, not poisonous. And halal food does not contain any parts or animal product that is not halal or not slaughtered. Okay? Uh, and halal food is must not be processed using equipment that is contaminated with nash. Okay? So I think now you know more what is halal food. I continue. With this nudge. What is the definition of nudge? Am I going too fast or not? Is it okay?
Okay, doctor.
Just fine, doctor.
Okay. Maybe after my lecture, you don't have to do any revision. I can remember already. Okay, nudge. What is nudge? Nudge are matters that are impure, or in other words, dirty. Okay. Not just dirty, impure. Okay. They all have different meaning actually. Nudge. According to Sharia law and fatwa. So sometimes there are dirty, things are dirty, but it's not nudge. Okay. So what is nudge? Okay. For example, like if you dirty yourself with certain thing, but not necessarily that thing is nudge. So now we want to only say about nudge. What is nudge? Nudge dog and pigs and their descendant or derivative. Yeah. Number two, nudge. I use this statement because I get it from Malaysian standard on halal food. Okay, nudge halal food that is contaminated with matter that are non-halal. So what it means here that if you have halal uh, halal food and then contaminate with haram food, so the whole food become haram. But here the whole food is nudge already. It's because it already contaminated with uh, haram matters. Okay. Number three, halal food that come into contact, direct contact with uh, haram matters, non-halal matters. This one contaminated, sometimes it happens by accidents or direct contact. You put that directly, you use it, mix that halal food with the non-halal or haram food. Okay, so under this terminology, these are also considered as nash when it is contaminated or when it's in direct contact with haram products or haram matters, it become nash. Okay, and then any liquid and object discharged from the orifices of human beings or animals, such as urine, blood, vomit, pus, excrement, okay, placenta. So anything that liquid or object, yeah, come from orifice of human being. For example, like feces, yeah, urine, blood. These are nudge. Okay. Number one, two, three, four, five. E, carrion. Carrion, dead animal or halal animal but are not slaughtered according to Sharia. It's also grouped under nudge. Okay. Carrion, that animal that die, not maybe die due to disease or maybe died due to um, other method of other methods. So that is grouped under carrion. Carrion is considered as nudge. Or halal animal slaughtered not according to Sharia, so is nudge. However, if the animals, these are referring to land animals, but if the animals are aquatic animals, yeah, um, um, except lah, except for aquatic animal, is not grouped under nudge, and certain insects, yeah. So not all insects, but certain insects, like grasshopper, for example. Okay, you can eat grasshopper, but we don't eat grasshopper here. I'm not sure about Arkan. Yeah, do you have grasshopper in Indonesia to grasshopper that you eat? Yeah.
Maybe on some location, doctor, but I haven't tasted on my own.
Or you have seen some of the grasshopper, that type of grasshopper that you can eat.
Yeah,
Now people talk about crickets, cricket.
yeah,
Cricket, insects also. We used to feed as a feed for you go fishing, for example, right? You use that as a bait, cricket. But now they make into cricket flour because high in protein, and then turn it into cookie, to turn it into food products. You can check the status. You can check into fatwa whether it is halal or not halal. Okay. And then kamar is the Arabic word. Actually, kamar means things that intoxicate. Yeah, usually referring to liquid or any liquid or any food, yeah, that intoxicate, that cause you to become drunk. Yeah. Um, or any food that contains kamar, not just alcoholic drink, but any food that mixed with kamar, yeah, um, is nudge. In this case, is nudge, right? Right. There are three types of nudge. So from all these example, we can group into three types based on just now I explained to you severe nudge, light nudge, or medium nudge. For example, okay, what is severe nudge? Severe nudge or mughallazah nudge, yeah, are only two things, yeah, two animals. Sorry, two things, two animals, dogs and pigs, or in Arabic they call it khinzir. Even in Malay, sometimes they use the word khinzir, uh, including any liquid and any object discharged from their orifices, descendants, and derivative. Yeah. So anything from dog and pig, the urine, the feces, or maybe derivative, maybe the bones, the skin, whatsoever, okay, from these two animals is considered as mughalazah naj or severe naj. Or descendants from this animal. For example, if they breed cow plus pig, so they get copied. For example, I don't know. Okay, so they breed the animal. If they breed the animal from these two animal, that animal, the new animal that they breed, is also grouped under mughalazah naj. Okay. Um, as I told you, why we want to know the different type of nudge, because we want to relate it with the cleansing method. How do you cleanse this nudge? Okay, remember that. The cleansing, like not only if you touch the nudge or it affect your dress or your body or the buildings or the floor or whatever, okay, you can clean it to remove the dirty thing, the impurity, the nudge, the severe nudge. So the cleaning is called, the method is called sertu, which I will explain later on. Number two is muhafafa nudge or light nudge. What is light nudge? There is only one type of muhafafa nudge in this world. Yeah, it is the urine from a baby boy at the age of 2 years and below who has not consumed any other food except his mother's milk. Is that clear? So the baby, not not any girl, not a baby girl, only baby boy. Uh, if the urine, if they urinate, so that nash is that urine is grouped under muhaffafa nash or light nash. But the provided the boy only drinks mother's milk or only consume mother's milk, not weaning any other food, not weaning food or not eating any food yet. But if the boy at that age or less than 2 years already eat other food than breast milk, okay, like this is 2 years, yeah, 2 years. You nowadays people give a baby 6 months, they give weaning food. They already feed the baby with food. Okay, so maybe not easy to find this urine lah, this baby, because baby boy 2 years and below not eating any other food except mother's milk. Okay, so I mean, yeah, if the baby boy is only like 6 months, then the urine from this boy is considered light nash. Okay, um, of how you clean light nash is very easy. You just use water. You don't need to use soap. You just use water, rinse it, then it's considered clean. Okay. Um, why we talk about mughalaza first, followed by muhafafa? Easy to remember. Other than these two, you can group it under medium nudge, mutawasita nudge. So mutawasita nudge are nudge that does not fall under severe or light nudge. For example, other than pigs and dog and derivative and descendant, other than the urine of a baby boy 2 years and below drinking consuming mother's milk. Okay, um, other than that, for example, uh, vomit, pus, blood, camar, carrion, liquid, object discharged from orifices of human and animal other than dogs and pigs are grouped under medium nudge. Understand? So anything from the two animal, mughalaza animal, sorry, these two animal is under mughalaza nudge. How do you clean medium type of nudge? Yeah? For example, blood. Okay, maybe blood on your clothes, for example, or kamar on your clothes. You can use soap, normal washing method. You use soap and then you rinse this water, clean water. That is considered clean. As long as you remove the color, the smell of the nash, then it is clean. However, you cannot do that with mughalazat nash. You cannot just wash with soap, then water is not clean. In Islam, um, there is a method to clean mughalaza nash. We call it sertu. So sertu is a way of purifying from mughalaza nash. It doesn't matter whether clothes or equipments, yeah, or place or premise. Yeah, for example, if it is dirtied by mughalazah nash, you clean it using this method. You call it sertu. Okay. Uh, some says it's Islamic cleansing. Yeah? Some says Islamic cleansing according to Sharia law. Doesn't matter whatever it is called. Maybe you can use the word sertu here. I'm not sure is it Arabic word or not. I think it's a Malay word. Yeah, sertu. And actually, there are another word that they call it sama. You have heard about sama? SAMAK. So some people confuse between sertu and sama. So the right term to use is sertu. Sama is the term that is used to cleanse the skin of the animal, to remove the fat or the dirty part of the animal to get the clean skin, plus some chemical. They say that is sama. Okay, I think it's Malay lah, sama. Yeah, but uh, if you want to clean mughalazah nash, the right word is sertu. How do you do it? Yeah, um, the nash, yeah, it can be visible. Sometimes you can see the nash visible, or in Arabic they call it aniyah, or sometimes it is invisible. Why invisible? Because it has dried up or maybe disappeared. Mean that there's the place there. You know the place have been dirtied by um, animal like pig, for example, or dog. Okay, that place. So but the animal is not there anymore, but you know that the animal have come to that place or to that house or to that premise. Okay, meaning disappeared, you can't see it, or sometimes already dries up. For example, the urine from dog, for example, already dry, but you can see some pattern, you know, oh, there are nudge here. Yeah, so how to clean this nudge? You remember this word, wash 7 times, one of which shall be water mixed with soil. Okay, the first wash shall be to clear the existence of nudge, even if a few washes are needed. But the first wash is not counted, you know. But the water from the first cleaning shall not remain behind, and the following wash shall be counted as, sorry, second wash. So the first wash is usually you use first you remove the physical, if you can see it, you remove that nudge, physical nudge, and then you wash with water mixed with soil. Okay, you take some soil mixed with pure water, pure lah, I mean clean water, mutlak water. Okay, this one you must use mutlak water. You cannot use here it written condition of the water. It must, it shall be. It's not must. Shall you have to strictly follow. Shall be natural or mutlak water. Must not be. Shall not be mustakmal water. Shall be free from nudge. So you use that water. Mix the first wash is mix the water with soil. What type of soil? Even soil also, the condition of the soil must be free from nudge. The soil must not be the soil that have been used before for tayammum. Okay, unless the soil, the rain have poured, heavy rain have poured on the soil, so the soil is clean. Then you can use the soil to do sertu. Okay. Nowadays there are a special commercial soil to 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 use for sertu. Okay, uh, it's easy. So the first water, add some soil or some mud, you can add, and then wash that place or the area or the clothes or whatever you want to wash. Then you rinse with mutlak water 6 times. 6 times. Okay. Uh, then the place is already uh, uh, cleansed from mughalazah nudge. It's clean. We call it already remove the nudge. Okay. Just to remind you that this is to clean places or a house or premise or anything. But you cannot clean the meat itself. For example, like you take the pork and then you sertu the pork. It doesn't work that way. You cannot clean it. Pork is nash. It's nash, forever nash. You cannot cleanse it. But what I'm talking about is if the place or the dress or, for example, the equipment. For example, why here we explain to you, because maybe some company buy second-hand equipment for processing line, or so equipment or processing line that have been used to produce non-halal product or haram product, they can buy the equipment. Before they used to produce the halal product, they have to wash the equipment. How to wash it? So this is the way how to wash it. Okay? Sertu, use sertu. First, you must use soil and water to clean the equipment, and then rinse the equipment with 6 times the clean water or mutlak water. You can use tap water here. Okay. Um, all right. I just remind you that in Malaysia, a little bit strict on this matter. You can use the equipment. For example, the equipment is used for making haram product, and you can wash with sertu and use for making halal product. And then let's say that company said, oh, the next following week they want to again process non-halal product, haram product, and then say, oh, we wash again that equipment using sertu, and then we produce halal product. Keep on changing it from haram and halal and haram and halal. In this respect, Jakim will not give halal certification, even though it's allowed, practically it's allowed in Islam. You can do that. The food is halal, but you cannot get halal certification from Jakim. That's why I said in this part, Jakim is a bit strict. There is some reason behind this. For example, like if this is allowed, maybe the company did not do it properly. Even you want to do sertu, you have to have a competent authority to wash or to to witness that, to be there to see whether you do the washing correctly or not. Okay, so maybe behind Jakim, they didn't wash properly. Okay, maybe after producing haram product, and then they didn't wash the two properly, just with water once rinsing, for example, then they produce halal product. So it had been, we will contaminate the halal product, the haram product will contaminate the halal product. So to prevent this from occurring, Jakim have come up with this strict regulation. You cannot like it's not reversible many times. Only once is allowed, but you cannot be doing like uh, uh, today haram, tomorrow halal product, and then haram product again, then halal product. So for this, you can get halal product, but you cannot get halal certification from Jakim. Okay. All right. All right. I think for today, before I end, there are some term here like mustakmal water. What is mustakmal water? Mustakmal water are water that have been used. Can, for example, this is mustakmal soil, but it's not the same like mustakmal water. Yeah, mustakmal soil means what the soil that have been used for dry ablution. Just now I mentioned to you, right? If the soil is used for dry ablution, you cannot reuse the soil to do sertu, for sertu. That's all. Okay, unless the soil rain have heavy rain, have been subjected to heavy rain, then the soil is clean. Even though used for tayammum, tayammum is not dirty. I mean, what I mean tayammum means people use the soil, so you cannot recycle that soil, use it again. What it means here, okay, you have to take. There's so much soil in this earth, on the earth. You can go and find clean soil, as long as you don't see feces or you don't see any urine, don't smell any urine. Um, that is clean. You don't have to do the analysis in the lab whatsoever. Most part of the earth is clean. Yeah, if there is no nudge, it's clean. So you can take any soil. Uh, uh, enough, yeah, enough. It depends on what you want to wash. For example, uh, when I studied before in a college, I shared the kitchen with non-Muslim, and of course we know that they use the plates and the pots to cook non-halal food. So what we do, we take some soil and some water, we wash it first time, the plates and the pots with soil plus water, and then we rinse that pots and plate or the forks and the spoon with clean water 6 times, and then we use it to cook our halal food. So it's okay, you can do that. Yeah. um, of course, that is not to get the halal certification, it's for your own consumption. Yeah, so you are concerned that you want to use halal pots, halal fork or spoon. Yeah, you can do that. You can if you share the facilities at a college, mixed with Muslim and non-Muslim, you can wash using satu method. Okay, this is musta'mal water. When is it musta'mal? When it's not musta'mal? Musta'mal water is water that is less than 2 kola. Remember, just now here, you cannot use musta'mal water as satu water for cleansing. Okay, condition of water not musta'mal. What is musta'mal? Musta'mal is water less than 2 kola. I'm not sure about this Arabic or what, I can find for you later on. But basically equivalent to 192 liter of water. So if you have water that is less than 192 liter of water that you use for cleansing, that water is no longer mutlak. It's no longer pure because it has been used. Used water, USED, is used water. So this used water, you cannot, is we can say it's clean, it's pure, but it is not purifying. It cannot be used for cleansing. You can use, of course, you don't drink that water. You can use it to clean the bathroom, or you can use it to water the plants. Yeah, but you cannot use this water to clean other nudge. In this case, to clean mughalazat nash, or even to clean what the two nash is, mutawasitah nash, or to clean muhaffafah nash. You cannot use musta'mal water. You must use clean water, mutlak water. You can even use sea water if you want, but not for the food industry. Okay, at home, or you want to take sea water, you want to take ablution from using sea water, it is not wrong. It's right. But in the food industry, food manufacturing industry, or food service industry, we don't use seawater or well water. We have to follow international standard, or we have to follow certain standard, GMP standard or HACCP, and so on. We cannot use this type water. We have to use potable water. Yeah, POTABLE, potable water. There is also non-potable water. Non-potable water is used for fire extinguisher, and they use water. That is non-potable water. We cannot use non-potable water for food products. For food production, we have to use potable water. Understand? Okay, so you have to differentiate this. But for the Muslim, um, not applying certification, whatever, this is for the cleansing of our body. We can take our bath in the sea water, is clean. You can take our ablution using sea water, the 7 water just now. You can use that water and take ablution, or to take a bath, to clean yourself, to clean your things, to clean your clothes. It is clean. Okay. All right, but I don't have the proof of the microbiological status of all this, but this is the teaching from the Islam teaching about cleanliness. Okay. All right, I think for this we can continue next week for the sources and so on. I can share with you this slide. I already shared with you this slide, in Putra Blast. You can read so that you can understand better during my explanation. That's all. So, Arkan, you have a record this?
Yes, doctor.
That maybe you can, I don't know, maybe you can share for those who want it, but not all want it, because it would take some space, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have recorded many things, but I finally have to delete it. I don't have the space. Okay. So thank you very much for your help today, and also thank you to others. Thank you. So take care.